Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Patreon Radio. And if you hear me say no or get down at any stage over the next 10-15 minutes, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to one of the two puppy dogs who now live with me. And what I wanted to talk about here is, again, we're staying with this idea of masculine energy and feminine energy. But I want to introduce a second concept, or almost kind of an adjunct to the masculine and the feminine. And this is being and having. Okay? So if you think, like, say, masculine energy is about doing, structuring, pursuing, achieving, getting, having. Feminine energy is about being, receiving, magnetizing, and intuiting, right? So this is the core idea, is in the way that we have been taught. I think the way that we are raised so much is with a very kind of materialistic concept of the world. So the happiness, the satisfaction, the joy come after you have acquired the material object. So it's a society where the having creates the feeling, and this is very masculine energy. I think, like, kind of all of the ills in the world right now can really be just are a result of just a kind of a total imbalance of masculine energy. There's not enough intuition. There's not enough receiving. There's not enough feeling. So this masculine concept that we're taught, like our conditioning, our masculine conditioning, is sort of, well, once you have the qualification, you'll feel like a success. Once you have the money, you'll feel safe. Once you have the partner, you'll feel acceptable. Once you have the car, you'll feel attractive. For example, right? Once you have the body, then you'll feel sexy, right? But with feminine energy, it's really just about being without having. So we connect to the sense of the being before the actual having. So this is why when I think it comes to manifestation, it's so important that we can be at the frequency of the thing that we want to have. And this is very much the feminine thing, and it's just, to be honest, it's how we also step out of hustle. Is this coming to this place of just, I am the success, and feeling it deeply in your body, or I am attractive before you were chosen. It's sort of like, I am abundant. I recognize abundancy without needing the material structures, the material signifiers. And this is quite kind of, it's a sort of a magical approach to approaching life, because so much of it is based on believing in something before you have it. So much of it is based upon feeling the version of yourself that you are not yet, but you can become, and you are becoming. And it's very sort of, I think what a good way to sort of just work with it, and is just sort of like over the next even 24 hours or something, just notice whenever you find yourself yearning or grasping or wanting, and then just begin to see, can I actually feel the satisfaction of those things before I actually have them? Can I be the version of me who already has this? And you see, that the thing quite often is that I think we have this tendency to conflate objects with states. right now, and this is really how you become very powerful in the world. Like so often, we're kind of raised to, with this sense of I want my mom. I want my mom to love me. I want my father to approve of me. But if we kind of break it down into just a being without the action, if you can begin to look like, okay, what is this idea of like my mom loving me? Oh, I just want to feel loved. And I can do that myself. I can work on that on myself. Same with like your father's approval that never appeared, and how this has left you kind of somehow just deficient in life. Like, can you already be approval? Can you be love? Can you be approval? Is it possible to generate those feelings right now in your body? And this really is the trick of the feminine. It's the capacity to just feel something without material evidence. And this is how we can kind of rapidly transform our lives. When you recognize that there's wanting, when there's grasping, when you recognize that there's fear, that there's anxiety, can you just be the version of you who has already kind of climbed the mountain, has already jumped through the ring of fire, has already kind of made the decision, left the partner, and so on and so forth. So it's this idea that that you just, if you can embody the thing, then you don't have to earn it. I think that's really useful. So how can you just embody, which is being, before earning, which is having, right? And a way to do this is just when you notice the stress, when you notice the tension, see, is there a way that you can just, okay, I'm going to cut this right off, I'm going to nip it at the bud, and just move into a place of receiving. I think a big part of this is just coming back to a mantra or something like that, like some sort of form of something you can just say to yourself, which is just, I trust in the world, or the world loves me and always has my back. Something like this to help generate the feeling, generate the sense that I am okay, I am already grateful for all that I have. And that's it really, guys. It's sort of just a short thing, but just to recognize yourself as you are moving between this daily dance between being and having. And the more you can kind of just like come back to the sense of being without having, without needing to go into the having. And in this way we just we embody the version of ourselves that we're hustling to become. And we cut out that hustle. So something I like to do, just sort of a practical tip, is whenever here's an example. Someone was going to take my apartment for a couple of months over summer, and I was beginning to kind of get this sense of, they hadn't said yes or no yet, it was just a little thing, and it would have been extra income coming in, and I got excited about this. And then I noticed a little anxiety in my body, and the anxiety was, oh, what if they say no? So I was grasping, I was waiting to have. Do you understand? I was waiting to have, and I noticed I was doing this. I was sort of looking at my phone going, oh, why haven't they replied? Why haven't they confirmed? And I said, okay, let's move back into being. So the feeling that I was looking for with this was just a sense of safety from the extra income, abundance from the extra income, and kind of power that, oh, I'm this person who has a home that I can sublet and as a source of income. And so recognizing these were the things that I wanted to be: powerful, abundant, and safe. I just focused on creating those senses in my body. I focused on being. And then 20 minutes later, the person confirmed, and so they are going to run my appointment. So, and the having has kind of been confirmed then, you know. So that's just a kind of a small tip there on this work that we're doing. And really, what you're trying to do is you're trying to embody life rather than earn life. And there's a great sense of with this, what you're really doing is you're undoing so much guilt and shame. You know, you're trying to come to a place of like, I'm entitled, I deserve this. So many of us have been raised to sort of believe that being entitled is a sin. You know, we should move through life with a feeling of great guilt and debt. Yet, knowing that you can just embody this, you don't have to earn it, is a beautiful way of actually creating things, actually manifesting things that is dependent upon you seeing your own value. So this really is what it is about. The being is about recognizing your own value, establishing it, and confirming it inside your body. And what this is it's the masculine serving the feminine. The masculine serving the feminine. That's our future. That's how we're going to move forward in this group. It's how we're going to move forward as a society. The masculine will begin to serve the feminine. And that simply means that we get down. That simply means that we are connecting to being and not having. Connecting to being and not having. Embodying who we want to become instead of earning it, right? So urgency, wanting, craving, they're kind of masculine distortions. The feminine trusts timing. And I think, speaking of timing, I think that's probably all I wanted to say for today. So, guys, just for like the next, if you're listening to this and you feel like working on it for the day, every time you notice wanting, every time you notice craving, every time you notice stress, just drop into this place of what would it feel like to be the person who already embodies that state. How can you protect your vibe? Okay, thank you. And we'll be talking an awful lot more about this. Bye-bye.